Hi and welcome to this week's Art Talk. Soon going to be the last one because I'm going to have a little break over summer, but it's a slightly more difficult topic today. So why do we make art? Why do we as humans make art? Why do we put ourselves out there? Why do we go to the trouble? For me, it's very much so because it's an inner urge. I need to do this. But we could say, because in our spiritual personality, we feel ahead of nature. I don't say we feel better than nature. We are not better than nature. We are part of nature. But we feel ahead of nature. We strive for the spirit. We strive beyond nature. If we were satisfied with our natural creatureliness, like all other creatures, our natural urges, then we would not long for more. As all other creatures are satisfied, we think, with what they have and what they are. One thing I remember from my childhood was my mother always saying to me, you always want more, you're never satisfied, you always want to get further. And yes, I do. I need that more, and that more that I am looking for in my art is also an ensoulment by making the art a human urge, an ensoulment of spiritual art, without being religious, I mean. So why do we go further than other creatures? Because we have the power that the other creatures don't develop. We have the power to believe something. And to be an artist, we need a strong belief in ourselves, because believe me, there are enough people out there saying, you won't make it, forget it. Art moves us more. Nowhere is mankind closer to ourselves than in art, because we have the power of faith, the possible, and above all, faith in ourselves. Science isn't allowed to do that. Science has the polarity of belief and knowledge. If you believe something, that's not necessarily knowledge, right? Science knows everything, but believes nothing, until Max Planck, of course, who said, the artist begins with faith and belief, and arrives from experimenting, from learning, at knowledge. The scientist begins with knowledge, and when he can't get any further with knowledge, ends with belief. Art is the serious union of play and seriousness, Goethe said. And I recently wrote in an email to an answer to a post that I believe in humans and not in machines. It's not that I don't believe in machines at all. I expect my car to get me from A to B. But when it regards art, I believe in humans. Van Gogh, he never lost faith in mankind. He unloaded the suffering of the people into his soul, and he carried it. These carrying forces from his suffering soul gave him the strength to develop art forms. The potato eaters, his famous picture, he showed human suffering, and is a reminder of the Last Supper, big painting. In his chair, his famous chair, where he shows only his pipe, his tobacco, there's no more Van Gogh sitting there. He's already removed himself. So I believe in the immortality of spirit, which constantly recreates itself in mankind and through mankind, and thus constantly recreates the entire universe. Because as Goethe said, the becoming is alive. What has become is dead. So we are constantly moving, constantly creating. When we create new works, we constantly recreate the universe. A person who does not believe in him or herself is not capable of judgment. According to Immanuel Kant, a person who does not make judgments is stupid. So we need to believe in ourselves as much as anything else. Recently, this has been challenged for me as I'm going through the menopause, and all sorts of questions have arisen. However, these questions are also questions about the global state of mankind, and very much answering some of the things that I see going on with humanity today, and all the war and everything that we have, all the doom and gloom news that we unfortunately have to listen to and see happening in the world today. And I created a series of prints called Crisis Prints. I called them my Crisis Prints. I started off with this one. Why did I let them rip out my heart? Because as humans, we let it happen, or we take part in it. Then I worked out this one. Why does this hurt? And last but not least, my strong belief that if we let AI get the upper hand, we will be bombarded with so much rubbish and so much information that we will have to sift through it, and we won't understand what is reality anymore. We won't understand where are we anymore. We are also killing the planet with our rubbish, with our bombs. So then I made, look at me, I'm dying. And because I know my art history, because only if you know your history can you have any relevance for the future. In the Baroque period, they said opposites must be united. And therefore, my prints, unlike a lot of the work I saw in the Volta Art Fair, for example, in Basel recently, I have tried to make them beautiful. They're not necessarily art because they are prints with a clear message. They're not so open. They're open enough, but like Toulouse-Lautrec, you can also have very beautiful prints. So there you go. Why do we make art? Because we feel ahead of nature. We're seeking something. We're constantly seeking. We want more than the everyday, and we need more than the everyday. We need to believe in something. We need to believe in ourselves. I had the urge to create these prints, not because I wanted to make something that would sell. Of course, I need to pay my bills as much as the next person, but because I had an inner conviction that I needed to make these prints. I hope you like them. In the near future, I will put them on my website, in my web shop. However, at the moment, they're still drying. So have a good week, and I hope I've given you something to ponder about. Excuse the kids screaming outside. They're having a lot of fun in the big water trough on the other side of the road, as I used to do when I was a kid visiting my grandmother here. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this art talk, leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.